Hello and welcome to Thursday, the 3rd of March, 2020, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are on session F5 or NF5 in your notebook. And your I can statement is I can compare a nonfiction text to a poem focusing on the themes. So, of course, we will address the issue of theme. We'll also be talking about tone. And you're going to be reading a piece called Black Men in Public Space. It's a very interesting piece. I think you'll enjoy it. You will be doing the learn about it, the practice it, and the evidence of learning activities in session 5. Learn about it is where you will find the story that you're reading, and you will also find a copy of the poem that we've been talking about. And then practice it is a Venn diagram that you're going to do. You will complete that comparing the two pieces of literature, and then your evidence of learning where you're going to write about it. So let's go ahead and get started. This will probably be a quick video because I'm going to have you watch those videos on your own. It just makes sense. So to begin with, we're going to talk about tone. Tone in a piece of literature is it's that feeling that the writer sets about the piece. It sort of expresses maybe how they feel as writers, but more importantly, it guides the way you feel as readers. So it could be a serious tone or a hopeful tone or an excited tone, an angry tone. There is definitely a tone to every piece that you read. And then, of course, theme. You've been doing theme for years, and that is that lesson that you learn. So there are videos attached to both of those, and I have put the links to those in Learn About It for you. So I'm going to take you directly to Session 5, Learn About It, because that's where we're going to start today. And I haven't published it yet, but it'll be published by the time you get this video. As you can see, here's a copy of the poem, Let America Be America Again. And today you're going to compare it to Black Men and Public Space. I think I put in public space on there, but I will fix that. This piece is about a gentleman who had an experience not unfamiliar to possibly some of you. That painful, cringeworthy, insulting moment when someone deliberately avoids being in close proximity to you based on the way you look. I think you know what I'm talking about. This gentleman had an experience where he came from a place where his color wasn't really that big a deal, wasn't a major issue, but he went to college and he was in, I believe it's Chicago, and he was not treated with the respect that he deserved. He was a mild-mannered man. He was friendly. He was a student. He was educated. But nobody saw that. What they saw was his skin color, and they treated him in accordance with the way they perceived people of color to be. It was a stereotype. It was strongly prejudicial. And this, by the way, is a true story. Brent Staples is the man who wrote it and who experienced it. It's a very good piece. So you're going to read this piece today, and you're going to compare it to the poem. Excuse me. You're going to compare it to the poem that we've been reading. There are a lot of similarities. There are some differences as well. So what I want you to do is, you might even want to watch the videos prior to reading it. But here's one on tone, and here's one on theme. They're like 4 minutes and 6 minutes long, not terribly long. Here's a link to Black Men and Public Space. But you will be able to just bring one out from here. this is going to be a problem. Here we go. So if you just hover over Black Men in Public Space and hit this arrow, it will bring out a copy of it for you that you can read. Once you've read them both and you understand tone and you figured out what the tone and the theme are, I want you to think about how you would compare them. And you're going to do that in a Venn diagram. You've used Venn diagrams before. So you will make a copy of the Venn diagram, open it up here, and you are going to tell me basically what you found different and what you found in common. So Black Men in Public Spaces on this side, Let America Be America on the right, and what they have in common in the middle. So you're just going to write those things in there. And that's what you're going to submit. You're going to submit that PDF with your notes. These are essentially notes that you're going to be using. So after you've done that and turned it in, then you're going to go to the next one, which is evidence of learning. And in evidence of learning, we're asking you to describe the similarities between Black men in public spaces and Let America Be America again. You just did that in your Venn diagram. What you're doing is taking those notes from the Venn diagram and writing a good paragraph about it. What experiences were similar? What experiences were different? Where were they? What was the tone? What was the theme of each of them? Was the theme the same for the two pieces? Was the tone the same for two pieces? So, who's speaking? What's the theme? What's the tone? Where are they? That's what you need to consider. And then when you finish that, and this is a text entry, so you're just going to write it here in this document, and you will turn that in. Please do not forget that you have a standards mastery that you need to complete. If you have not yet completed it, it's due by Friday. So we're talking about tone, we're talking about theme, we're talking about comparing two pieces of work that are structured differently. One is a narrative piece, one is a poem. How do they compare and how do they contrast? That's what a Venn diagram is, a compare and contrast. So watch all the videos on theme and tone, and then reread the poem, read the Black Men in Public Space, do the practice at Venn diagram, and complete the evidence of learning and any other work you have this week. Friendly reminder, you have 1 week until the end of the grading period. So this is not the time you want to choose not to turn in your work. Several of you are struggling right now because you don't turn in work. The work you turn in is fine. But if you get enough zeros, it doesn't matter. You're going to fail. Failure is a choice, ladies and gentlemen. No teacher ever fails a student. You only fail yourselves. So make sure you're turning your work in on time. And that's all I have for you today. I will be in Google Meet on Friday. If you need help with anything, just pop in and I'll be happy to help you. Other than that, I will see you on Monday. And T2 out.